Hey, where's my video? Hello. Well, let me ask this. Can you hear me? You can hear me? No? You can't hear me? No? Hmm. This shouldn't do nothing. Okay, I can hear you. Okay. It's not loud, but I can hear. Okay, I can hear that. I should be good. I see the. Well, I did see it. I wonder if anybody can hear me. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Just making sure. It's like some interference, like maybe something too close. Yeah. See, when you say test, I can hear you, but just a very, very little bit. It sounds like it's like far away. Okay. It's getting a little better. It's getting a little better. There we go. Oh, okay. There you go. There you go. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Amanda, can you see if they can turn it up a little bit more? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can you see if they can turn it up a little bit louder just for your volume? Like just it's better. Yeah. 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 Okay, that sounds good. Oh no. Dang, that's why you had it like that. I see. Okay. Yeah. Anything? I know. No, it's tech stuff. This is the first time I've been live with anybody, so oh no, it is. Mm. Hey, y'all, wait a second. I'm doing a TikTok, okay? A live TikTok. So can y'all give me a couple of minutes and then I'll come down? Mm-hmm. Then y'all can come back in a little bit. But this is Miss Amanda. She's going to ask me some questions about my job, and I'm going to answer. I can see me. I know, but you're not. I see. Okay, y'all gotta go downstairs. But I want to play TikTok on my tablet. When we finish, then you can play. How that? Yeah. Okay, y'all go downstairs. I want to play TikTok. It's not playing TikTok. I'm doing an interview, so this is kind of like important. Hi. Yeah. You want to say hi really quickly, but then you gotta go. You can say hi, hi. Say hi. Show yourself. Okay, can y'all go down? Can y'all go downstairs and play, and then I'll be back. Ooh. Huh? No, they're talking to me, not you. When she's talking to me. He's talking to me. He's talking to me. Okay, Mason, take her downstairs until I finish, okay? Then I'll come down there and play with y'all. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Say bye-bye. Bye. See you in a little bit. Let's play TikTok together, Lean. Wait, yeah, y'all can downstairs, yeah. No, down there.
There. I'm just gonna.
Oh, I hear you clear now.
And I'll have to figure
You
it
sound
out.
real clear.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
I can, very
It's
clear.
because I got this new. Okay, good. I got this whole podcast music mixer thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You know, I was
maybe
just
I'll try that. I'll try that next time. So,
I was looking at that this weekend.
welcome to
Yeah.
our the crazy TikTok with technical difficulties. We'll have to
It's all
figure it
good.
out, huh, baby? Yeah, we'll have to figure it out. So, thank you for your help. I appreciate it. You gonna stay in with the on the live with me or no? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
So, all right. So we got a few people in the house. We got My nephew Brian, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. He's out of North Carolina, right, mijo,
Oh,
or
that's
South?
cool.
One of the Carolinas.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yes, yes. My best friend Cecilia, he's in South. Okay. My
Okay.
best friend
Okay.
Cecilia's in the house. She's over here in Spring, Texas.
Oh,
Who
nice.
else do we got in here? AJ, welcome in, y'all. Yes. Okay. North Carolina, North Carolina. We got
Oh, cool.
Evelyn. Yes. And oh, thank you for the hi bear, y'all. Thank you so much. Maria, thank you. Hi, Roxana. ¿Cómo estás, amiga? Mwah, 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 mwah. All right, Maria, we got my sister in the house. We got all kinds of people in this house right
Hello.
now. So, guys,
Hello.
we're gonna go ahead and get started with this interview. You know, Mr. B's got kids. You know, we got lives to do. I got my grandbaby right here. He's gonna help with the interview as well. And I thought that this was going to be a perfect interview because, again, we're going to get into a little bit about what Mr. B does, what he does for the community. Can you shut the door? And thank you, Patty, for joining the live. I appreciate it. So we're going to go ahead and get into it, y'all. I appreciate everybody who's joining the live. Make sure you share. Make sure you're tapping the screen. And also making sure you're going and liking and following Mr. B's Corners TikTok page. Do you have an Instagram?
I do have an Instagram. It is the real Mr. underscore B's Corner.
Okay, so here in a
Hmm.
minute, go ahead and put that in. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate it. Put that in the comments, and that way they can go and follow you on that platform as well.
Okay,
Thank you
cool.
so
I'll
much
do
for
that.
that gift. I appreciate that. Okay, so again, let's go ahead and get into it. Everybody's got stuff to do. You know, my daughter-in-law's cooking dinner. I got my grandbaby right here. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? You see his little carita?
Hello.
Mr. AJ knows you. I used to talk about you at work all the time. All right, welcome in, James. Thank you so much. All right, so again, this is Mr. B. For those who don't know you, for those who are in this live, gonna get to know you, all about what you do and what you do for the community. Who is Mr. B, and what is Mr. B's Corner all about?
Okay. Well, again, hello. My name is Mr. B. I started this page called Mr. B's Corner actually this summer. I saw you had someone from North Carolina. I'm from North Carolina as well, from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I moved here to Houston, Texas. And I've been in education since 2011. I started out as a teacher assistant, just working with kids. I was very shy, didn't know what I was doing, just out of college. I had a very good mentor. Her name is Mrs. Austry now. I'm out of North Carolina. She was the one who actually told me that she think it would be a good idea for me to go back to school and get my license to teach. So I did that, and I started teaching second grade, and I honestly felt like I was probably doing horrible, to be honest with you. Classroom management was horrible. My kids, they were all over the place. They were doing crazy stuff, running out the room, fights, and all kind of things, not listening to me. But I think the one thing that happened is that I just never gave up with it. You know, every time I had an issue with a student, I was really trying to figure out what I could do to actually, connect with the student more. I always tried all types of things with them, talking to the parents and then talking with the students and, trying to ask some of their teachers from the year before, all of these things. And I guess eventually it just kind of stuck with me. So I really just kept working with students. I moved to Texas, Houston, actually. I moved to Houston, Texas. I was teaching at KIPP, actually, and I went overseas. I went overseas to the United Arab Emirates for 3 years as well. Had my son over
Wow.
there. Yep, taught there as well, and came back to the United States right after COVID, 2021, and I was given an opportunity to actually go in as a behavior interventionist at my old school KIPP. So that's what started the whole thing with me working with behaviors. Something I always wanted to do in the past, honestly. As I started working with students and the years went by me teaching, I just think my relationships got better because with me, I just found that the stern trying to be tough and you have to do this and you have to sit down, it just didn't work with me. The more I pushed on kids, the more they pushed back. I didn't like the way it felt for me. I didn't think that they liked it. And I was just thinking, you have to be here for 8 hours a day at school. So why
Yeah.
not at least, be at a place you would want to be? So I kind
Yes.
of went away from trying to make everybody fit this mold to oh, you have to sit down, you have to be quiet, and you know, you there's an observation coming up. You know, you better be good and all of these things. And I was just like, you know what? I know data is important. I know academics are important. I'm going to do my best with that. But my main focus is to make sure that these students go home feeling better than they did when they came to school. And I just made that my whole
I love that.
focus. Yeah.
I love
And
that.
and
Absolutely.
and after that, my stress level went down. You know, my students weren't always, you know, the most silent, walking in the hallway in the best, you know, like, you know, this is the class that I want you to model. But I do feel like all of my students were happy. And that's what I cared
That's
about.
good.
And
Yes.
even
And
with that, they started performing better just because they felt more comfortable. I try to make myself open to them, you know, even during, you know, I know everybody's not going to do this, but my lunch, you know, you need to come and talk to me. It's cool. You know, if
yeah,
there's, you know, specials going on, oh, Mr. B, I really don't want to go to specials. Can I help you organize the room or stuff that they saw that I needed help with? I would let them do things like that, you know? And from that, I just built relationships with them that lasted with their family and even their siblings. So, and now I am here as a behavior specialist.
that's nice. So do you like going to
Mhm.
specials? What do you have for specials? What do you do in specials?
PE.
PE.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah,
Okay,
everybody's
okay.
favorite.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So there's a comment in the from Miss Rebecca. Thank you, Rebecca. She says you need to be on their level, and I
Oh, yeah.
definitely think that's where you agree. You know that
Oh, yeah.
you would you agree with that comment?
Yes. Thank you, Rebecca, for
Yeah.
saying that. Yeah, I think, you know, it's very important. I know as educators, we get, you know, kind of consumed with all of the asks that we're asked for. We're asked for, you know, data, and, you know, you have to hit the certain mark with the students and they have to pass these tests. And what are you doing? They're not growing. They're not learning. But, you know, at the end of the day, that's just a perspective from other people that I think that's not in the classroom, that's giving out these
Mm-hmm.
demands that they're receiving from someone else higher. And that's just not what I'm about when it comes to education. If I'm going to work with humans and work with people, then I'm going to be a people person at the end of the day. For the
Absolutely.
data,
100%.
I'll answer for it. And I don't mean to say like my kids don't learn, but you know, is it like 100%, you know, everybody's, you know, getting everything? No. But do I have growth? 100%. All of my students grow. They grow because I'm just feeding into them. You know, I just want them to be better than they started at the beginning of the year. That's just my whole motto. It's
Yes.
something simple. And as
Yes.
long as I keep that in the back of my mind and educators do, you know, I think that really would make, you know, education, you know, a happier place, not just for the kids, but for the teachers as well.
Yes.
Mhm.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I know you mentioned that you had a mentor. Oh my God, there's a little pumpkin at the top. Thank you guys
Oh,
so
yeah,
much.
cool, cool.
We appreciate you, Rebecca, for commenting and doing all that.
Yes, we
Thank you
do.
so
Thank you.
much. She used to work in the school district. She says she has a
Ah, I
special needs
see.
son. So
Okay.
what inspired you to become an educator and then later going into behavioral specialist?
Well, I remember my first principal. He asked me that as well. You know, why did you want to be in education? Why do you want to do this? He was saying, you know, it's a tough job. Everybody can't do it. And I just, you know, told him, I think that a lot of these students that we serve, I used to be them too. You know, I'm not someone who, you know, had, you know, the most glorious background. Feel like I'm just a regular person. I come from a low income neighborhood. You know, my family, they did the best that they could, but did I always have everything? No, sometimes no. And, you know, I'm lucky that I had my mother and father to instill those values in me to, you know, make sure that I just keep education important and, you know, to really
Hmm.
just focus on the good in things. But I do recognize a lot of these students that are coming from a lot of different backgrounds where, you know, some people may not have time to listen to their story, or they've never come across anybody who's comfortable enough to listen. So I just try to do
Yeah.
that. And the thing I try to do the most is try to be transparent. I just want these kids to understand
Yes.
I'm just a regular person who decided to go in the field
Right.
and help people like me. And that's really all I'm doing.
Yeah.
And because of that, I feel like they can tell, you know, that I'm being sincere with them. And then we just build from there. And at the end of the day, I just really want these kids to be, you know, happy. That's the at the end of it. I
Yes.
just want them to be
And that's what's
happy.
most important.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. That's good. So for those of you who just joined us right now, we're talking to Mr. B, Mr. B's Corner. He is on TikTok. Make sure you go and follow his page. He's an educator. He's educated here in the United States and internationally. Make sure you go and follow his TikTok. La Dreamer, you're late, young lady. I sent you the schedule way in advance. All right. Thank you guys for all the gifts. What's up? All the hearts and the roses. We appreciate that. Make sure you go and follow Mr. B's Corner on TikTok, and he also has an Instagram. He's going to put that in the comments, and
Yeah, I am. I
we'll
am.
see if La Dreamer can. We'll see if La Dreamer can pin it. Thank you, James Bazan, for the gifts. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that so much. And then, okay, so you said you worked in schools across the U.S. and then you went internationally.
Yeah.
How has that global experience shaped your approach to education and student behavior?
Oh, I love that question. Oh, I love it. And I think that that was the turning point. I'm so thankful for that question. I think that that was the turning point, to be honest with you, for me to really look at behavior. I went over to the United Arab Emirates, and it's a beautiful country. Dubai, Abu Dhabi, all the places over there was a big culture shock for me because honestly, outside of, I frequent Mexico a lot, but outside of Mexico, I actually haven't been anywhere else in the world. So, I had a chance to go over there, and it's just a whole different ideology as far as education went. It it made me kind of release my control because of the fact that the way that the country is set up, there's so much, freedom, and there's just
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things there that I just don't think people worry about that maybe back home in the US we worry about. Such as, we have students and
Yeah.
they go on these field trips and you're like, oh, stay together, we don't want you to get lost. Over there, hey, let them go. It's okay. They'll come back when it's time. I'm grabbing kids like, hey, I need to see, I need to count, I need to do a head count. It's not necessary. And the crazy thing is, when it was time to go, they just all came back. Every single
They all listened.
student,
They all
they
knew where to
all
go.
looked like
They
they
all
just
knew
all
where to go.
came. Yeah. And on top of that, I think that also it was very family oriented over there as well. A lot of people over there, they didn't, when they went to these places, their cousins were there or their uncles or their brothers, and
Yeah.
everything was like a sense of family and just letting go, making sure that the kids are happy with what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and things just flowed, and I never seen anything like that. So I brought a lot of that back over to the
Wow.
US. All of the control that I thought I needed to have in order to make kids listen or to deal with behavior,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't necessary. So when I dropped a lot of the things that I thought, that I was conditioned to do in education, it just worked out for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes having control means not having control, to be honest with you. And
Yeah.
you'll be surprised, in that kind of anarchy type of situation, there is control there. So you don't always have to stick to the dictionary, what it is to actually have a class and setting expectations. Make the classroom yours.
Wow.
And there used to be a time when that was really a thing. Like, this is your classroom, make it that way. But no, really, make the
Nice.
classroom yours. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it is your classroom.
Yes.
And it's your personality. And kids thrive off of that because they're closer with interacting with, your feelings than most adults. They're still very
Yeah.
innocent. They can tell when you're being sincere. They can tell when you're being sarcastic. They can tell when you don't like them. And most people, even as adults, don't tend to perform or work with people they don't like. So it's not about making them my best friend, but I'm just thinking about in the workplace. If people don't like you, they're not going to help you. Simple and
Yeah.
plain. So
Exactly.
my whole point is, let me make
Yeah.
sure I'm my genuine self. I hope they like me. I hope they don't. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm being me for these children. So that really helped me a lot.
Exactly.
Letting go of control.
Awesome. I love
Hmm.
that. I love.
Hmm.
So again, thank you for everybody who's joining the live. We're talking to Mr. B's Corner right now. He's an educator. We just went over a little bit of how he experienced being an educator here in the U.S. and then going internationally and being an educator over there. And he brought back a lot of what
Hmm.
he learned over there. Yes, you're forgiven. Thank you so much, La Dreamer.
I saw that.
So I just wanted a big shout out to everybody, Tac Dad, James
Hmm.
Bazan. Thank you so much, you guys. They're sending gifts to you. They're sending gifts to me. We
Thank
have
you.
the
Thank you for
moderator,
everybody.
Mr. B is our moderator for today is La Dreamer. Make sure you go and follow her. She's an amazing moderator. I think she's top rated in TikTok as far as like I'm not, well, she's number one moderator for me. I don't know what TikTok says, but
Oh, I will make
she's
sure I go
number
follow
one
her too.
moderator.
Yes.
Yes, yes. And then and we got Tack Dad as well. He just had twins. He's the one in North Carolina.
Oh, cool, cool, cool.
So he just had twins. So thank you guys so
Congratulations.
much for sharing. Yeah, sharing all the gifts and all, staying for all this great information that Mr.
Hmm.
B has for us. So let's talk about a little bit about the connection between behavior, because you say that you in
Hmm.
your bio, and it
Hmm.
says behavior, motivation, and technology.
Right.
And you mentioned this a lot when we would have our conversations, y'all. We would literally spend maybe 10 or 15 minutes taking a break from whatever we were
Hmm.
doing and talk.
Yeah.
And I would ask him questions, or he would talk to me, and we'd kind of just go back and forth. But he
Definitely.
always would mention that, tell me a little bit about the connection between behavior, motivation, technology. Can you break that down for us?
Yeah, yeah, I can. As far as the behavior aspect, I feel like behavior is a communication technique for a lot of people, especially for students. A lot of times I feel like as adults, we're looking at these students to kind of act as we do. Like, didn't I tell you? Or you need to sit down. Like, how come you keep doing the same thing over and over? Well, because they're eight,
Yeah.
right? And for instance, me, I'm 37 years old. I cannot expect an 8 year old to do what took me the majority of my life to do. And even when it comes to emotions and being upset and angry, I mean, if we were to be honest with ourselves, some of us are still working on our emotions, working on how to
Mm-hmm.
control all that. So if you're really looking for a child to just automatically know what to do, no, you're in the wrong place, because that's not what they're supposed to be doing. They're trying to figure it out. And the best thing you can do as an educator is kind of motivate them and help them. And I feel like the motivation
Mm-hmm.
comes in with at least sitting down and trying to figure out what is going on. I do know that is very hard for teachers. I understand that you have your days are full. Trust me, I get it. I'm in the school every day. You barely have time to eat or use the restroom, let alone, asking kids what's going on. But I try to tell them there's times still in the day that you don't think of where you can do that. And one of the biggest times is during recess. Recess is a great time
Mm-hmm.
where I know kids are playing around, but more kids love really hanging out with the adults more than anything. So just the fact that you're calling them over there to talk to them, it really brightens their day. It does for most of them. And it doesn't
Yeah.
take long. Take like two
Yeah.
minutes. Ask them something that doesn't have to do with their education and definitely to do with their behavior. Like, what do you do
Yeah.
this weekend? What do you like to do? And just the fact that you're taking interest in them, you'll be surprised how much those walls, kind of come down. It's almost like a bank
Absolutely.
situation. You got to deposit to withdraw. So when they know that you
Yes.
are investing in them, when it comes to those hard times when you need them to come through, they will, because you have that relationship. And then the technology piece of it as well, just because of the fact of the day and age we're in, kids just not learning the same. Sitting down with a worksheet all day, you're not gonna get nothing out of them. You looking for someone to throw a tantrum? Great. Give them a worksheet and tell them to sit there for an hour and doing that worksheet and see what you get. Yeah, they can't do it. I mean, look at us. We're on TikTok right now. Kids have tablets, and everybody's saying, the screen time, there's a fight if this is a good thing, it's a bad thing. At the end of the day, it's here.
Mm-hmm.
So why not utilize it? So the more that you use
Yeah.
technology in your classroom and get these kids moving, showing them something that pops in their face, that's kind of how my videos are. I'm doing little silly
Yes.
things, and sometimes I can't believe that I'm doing it, but I do know at the end of the day, you have to gain somebody's attention. And sometimes to gain the attention, you got to be animated sometimes. And this what these kids are
Mm-hmm.
doing. They're in like an animated
Yes.
world. Everything's like a
Yes.
commercial.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, yeah, it's a commercial.
Yeah.
Everything's popping in front of them. They're getting ads here, and do this, and their time for actually sitting down and paying attention is not long. So you have about
No.
5 minutes to kind of say what you got to say, and then you lost them. Then you got to move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So keep them moving. Say
Yes.
something cool. Brain break. We're getting up. We're doing something with Gracie's Corner. We're doing something on YouTube. We're doing a dance. Danny goes something. All right, get back down. Let me talk to you a little bit more. Boom, let's go. Let's do some action. Have something in your face. Okay, I need to say something important. Okay, after that, let's turn some music on. Let's have some music in the classroom. I just feel like the more technology we use, I think it'll
Yes.
keep the kids' attention more, and it will actually come together with the behavior and also motivation. I hope that answered. I hope it wasn't too long.
Yes. Yes,
Sorry.
it did. Absolutely. My favorite thing was the you must deposit to withdraw. And I've learned this, and my
Mm-hmm.
kids are older, that I have a 20, my youngest is 21 years old, but I'm
Right,
learning
right, right.
to be, a mom still, and ask, or to
Mm-hmm.
a grandma, right? And asking those, right. So how was school? Fine. And
Yeah.
you get that one answer, right? So I'm learning.
Mm-hmm.
So you're asking a little deeper question. So what did you read today at school? Or what
Yeah.
math problem was the hardest for you today at school? Kind of getting
Yeah.
not just a one, it was fine. I had
Yeah.
fun. So what did you do? I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gotten better at trying to get
Mm-hmm.
a better response, right? Or,
Yeah.
not doing those whole one liner questions and getting a one response. But I think my favorite thing about everything that you said was great. We have a lot of great comments. Sabrina said facts. I asked, what was your favorite part of the day? Sabrina asked her, my niece. She has two girls and a boy. They're all school age now. So yes, that's good. That's good. I love the answers for, I hope my kids can grow up to be an educator like this, for real.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
And they can.
AJ's
Yeah.
good. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So,
They can really.
deposit to withdraw. I love it. I love
Mm-hmm.
that. What are some of the most common behavioral challenges you see in classrooms today, and how can teachers and parents respond effectively?
Okay. I can. Number one, anger. I must say that is the
Mm,
number one top thing I see, and it comes out in different ways. Anger, it can come out in refusal to do work. It can come out in crying and just asking if I can, go to the bathroom, or I don't want to be in this classroom, to the
mm-hmm.
point where it gets actually really bad, to the point where, kids are actually throwing stuff and throwing desks, it is the climate today in the classrooms. There's just a lot of students, I feel like, that have a lot of social emotional needs that haven't been
Yes.
met. And I think the best thing that teachers can do to kind of overcome this is probably a combination of things. There's no one right thing, but I feel
Yeah.
like working with the parents is the top thing that you can do. And the reason why I say that is
Yes.
that a lot of times as teachers, and I know being a teacher, we're very reluctant to call parents, oh, they just
Yeah.
want to say okay, or they don't care, or, they're letting their kids do whatever. And I've come across that as well. But it's almost like now, as long you have to build a relationship with the parents, just like you build with the students. A lot of parents are coming in and having
Yes.
children now who also had a rough time in school. So their ideology about education is still the
Yeah.
same. They don't like it. There's no trust for the teachers
Yeah.
because they've had a bad
Facts.
time. And
Wow.
and I hate that,
Yes.
in this field we have to wear so many hats, but that's just kind of how things roll. We have to wear a lot of hats. And a lot of times we have to break down those barriers for the parents, let them know I'm not your, teacher from the 90s. Like, it's not silent, sit
Yes.
here and, write 5 words 10 times each. And if you don't do it, then, you're getting a full, like, it's not that. We're really actually concerned. We're not calling to
Yeah.
complain about your kid. We're calling because we're trying to be proactive. We want to work together and partner with you
Yes.
to help this student, not complain and just, give the student off to someone else like we don't care. So,
No.
for teachers and for parents, I just want to let all of them know, when you're hearing from a teacher, that's a good thing. They're not complaining. They're reaching to you for help. And parents don't always have the answers, to be honest with you. They're not perfect either. But I think at least they see the partnership. And if the teacher comes off as like, hey, we're trying to work together, I really have your child's best interest. I see these things. I'm concerned. I'm trying to bring them to your attention. Could y'all talk about it? It means a lot. It means a lot to the kids as well. Also, the fact
Yeah.
that a lot of kids know that their teacher is in such communication with their parents, they're less likely to do things, because there's that
Yeah.
connection. It's like a three-way thing. Hey, I just talked to mom last night. Or for me, I live by HEB. I go to HEB and I see people all the time. Oh my gosh, I see the kids. And every time they see me, they're like, oh gosh, what is he going to say? But I actually don't use that time to tell on them. I'm just saying hello, talking to the parent,
Yeah.
asking them how they're doing, just connecting with them, and they see me the
Yeah.
next day.
Building that
Woo,
rapport.
wow, Mr. B, thanks. I'm like, yeah, that time I'm just introducing myself. But if you keep doing it, next time I am going to use that opportunity to talk to them. So it works. It works as a strategy.
Yes. Yeah, so Sabrina
Hmm.
says, I ask my kids' teachers, what can I do that will better improve my kids in your class? I love that. Being
Hmm.
proactive, reaching
Hmm.
out, letting the teacher know that you are, want to be a part of the classroom and the environment that your kids are in. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you're tapping, make sure you're sharing the live. Mr. B is giving out some great information. All the parents that are in the chat, y'all are getting some gems here right now from a teacher that's been in the industry, has been teaching for a long time. He has experience here in the United States and internationally. So you guys, I was excited to bring him on because I knew he was going to be speaking facts. I told you
Hmm.
we used to work together, and we would have our conversations, and just the conversations we would have were very inspiring. And
Hmm.
just he would keep me motivated, right? He would be
Yeah.
tell me certain things, and I'm like, dang, you know what, that makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
So again, make sure you go and follow Mr. B's Corner on TikTok. He's going to put his information for Instagram as well. Again, he's been just giving us so much great information on this live so far, and I'll make sure to save it, and then hopefully I'll do little replays. So I noticed too as well that you, in the bio that you sent me, and I think it's in your bio on Instagram or on the TikTok, it said, you said build better kids. What does it really mean to build better kids? What role does an adult teacher play in that? So this is kind of going off of
Hmm.
what you asked the teacher, Sabrina.
Okay. Oh gosh, my keyboard is stuck and I can't see anything. But I can
Oh
see you, but I
no.
can't see the comment because I was trying to respond.
Oh
But I'll just
no.
answer that question.
Make
As
sure you
far as
guys share and tap, tap, tap,
yeah,
tap, and share the live. This is great information, y'all.
building better kids, and what I mean by that is not being perfect. It's just really understanding. When you're their teacher and they have third grade with you or fourth grade, that's the only year that they have. You will be this teacher every year. Okay, I'm going to do fourth grade again. Oh my gosh, I know the curriculum. Oh, here we go, another time. But for them, it's their one and only chance to be a third grader. It's their one and only chance to be a fourth
Yeah.
grader. They're not
Oh
going to get
my
the
God.
opportunity again. They're not. Yeah, they only go through it 1 year. Next year, they're moving up. They're the fifth grade. Really, what you can do is just try to help them make the year the best that you can. It's not even talking about being perfect. And I know a lot of these things sound like, well, yeah, duh. And really, I think that's the thing about education. It's gotten too complicated. It needs to go back to just the basics. It really is just that simple, honestly. You're just trying to make that kids the best year. Again, from the time they enter to the time they leave. If there's growth in some area where there be, their personality, they're maturing a little bit more, they're understanding, different words that they can use, when they're talking to people, they know how to kind of monitor their behavior and let you know, at least when they're upset from just having a tantrum. Whether it's that, hey, they wrote their name at the end of the year, they wasn't writing their name at the beginning. You got to look now at this
Yes.
time year. You have to look at like the small goals and the things that you have done. Anything that you have done that's count like that is improvement. You need to count that as a success, really,
Yes.
because in this day and age, it seems like it's never enough. You're not going to
Yeah.
ever stop hearing how much more you can do. But then, as a
Yeah.
teacher, you got to remember you're a person too, and you only can do but so much. But if you're going in with the state that I'm just trying to make this child's day or year better, you can't lose. You can't lose with
Yeah.
some type of growth. It's not possible to lose. So
Absolutely. Celebrate the small things. It makes a
celebrate it,
difference. Yes.
celebrate it. Yeah, and it
I
makes
love
sure
it.
it makes the kids understand how to celebrate as well. We have
Yes.
a generation of kids growing up that just really don't even know how to really be happy with just them. They're so busy
Yes.
trying to be something that they see on social media. They're losing sight of who you are. What about you? What
Yeah.
makes you happy? Not your idol, not, someone that you follow on TikTok. What about you? Because you could be that person
Yeah.
too. All TikTok is just people with their lives showing it to you and streaming it. So what about your life?
Absolutely.
It's as important as everybody else's. So remember that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, as you
And I think
celebrate, they'll learn to celebrate.
what Yeah, I think what you're saying, that it goes into your adulthood, right? Just being okay with being okay with where you're at. Yes, we all want growth. We all want to, do this, but celebrate the small things. I love that, Sabrina. There's a lot of things, deposit to withdraw, celebrate the small
Hmm.
things. I'm taking those with me at the end of this whole live. Those are the two things so far that I'm taking with me out of this live. It's you got to deposit to withdraw when it comes to these
Right.
kids, when it comes to your children, grandchildren, these teachers, deposit to withdraw. I love it.
Yeah.
And then celebrating the small things. I had my grandbaby, he's listening, my grandbaby is
Hmm.
listening to everything that you're
Hmm.
saying, and but I love that because whatever you're saying, it speaks truth.
Most
It's going
definitely.
to resonate, hopefully, with a lot of people on this live,
Yeah.
and I really do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Again, you're spitting out some really good stuff right now.
Yeah, I just think that we just forgot to
So
be people. I just think, people, we got
yeah,
to remember that we're
yeah,
all humans. We're doing a job, but yeah, you're a human. So just like you said, your grandbaby, he's listening. He's sitting there, soaking
yeah,
this stuff in. It's important. You got to watch really what you say out here because you never know who's
yeah,
listening. And with a child,
yeah,
they're always listening, even when you think they're not. They are.
absolutely,
So you can speak
they
life
are.
into them, or you can speak down to them and make them feel worse about themselves.
Yep,
It's the power of the
absolutely.
tongue, and it's important.
Yeah, it's I a few weekends ago I went to Austin, and my nephew Benjamin, he's a TikToker. He doesn't do TikToks, but he watches TikToks. And he would watch all my 1 minute good morning videos. He would
Hmm.
watch them. So when I go and visit him, one thing that he would tell, because all in the first few seconds or my introduction to my 1 minute TikToks was good morning, good morning. And he
Hmm.
remembered that. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, the Amanda, your TikTok video, I listen, good morning, good morning. And so when I was there, I did a little, I did it with him, but they listen
Yeah.
and they soak it up, and I'm like, and so I, have to be careful what, I'm saying on this
Hmm.
platform because my,
Hmm.
my grandbaby doesn't have TikTok, but my other nieces and nephews do. I'm not going to be spewing negativity or anything like that because they're listening
Yeah.
and you're with them. Yeah, good morning, good morning. Yes, I love it. I love it. So, how do you empower students who are struggling behaviorally and emotionally?
um,
Yes.
a lot of times, to be honest, the first thing I have to do before I can really empower them is to really just get them into a state where they can listen. And
Yeah.
a lot of times you see in my videos is talking about power struggles because it's a real thing. And
Yes.
when people are angry or emotional, they're not listening to you. So if you can't get
Yeah.
someone to calm down or de-escalate in order for them to receive the information, then you've lost them already because then it just becomes an argument. It's you over
Yeah.
me or my teacher against me. I said one thing, he or she said other thing, and it's something against what I'm saying. So we're just going to go at it. So a lot of times when they come in, when they come into my office, my first thing is don't even talk right now. Don't worry about trying to spill out everything and tell me everything. Why don't you just take a minute and just chill out for a minute? Calm down,
Yeah.
sit down. I have some things around my office, some of the weirdest things. I got a trampoline, I have some sensory
Yeah.
toys. And people think like, oh, they're going to go play. No, not really. I'm really just trying to get their mind off of what made them angry in the first place. Because also, as we know, when you're in a heightened state in emotion, what you're saying is probably not all the way accurate anyway. Your emotions are taking over. So you can missay
Hmm.
something, or the way you're seeing it right now may not even be what happened. You got to calm and get back to a baseline, and then we talk. So after they're de-escalating, they calm down, I'll bring them over. Hey, talk to me. What happened? I'm not
Yeah.
coming at them as a place of, oh, I'm waiting for you to say the wrong thing so I can say, got you. You see, you messed up. Tell me the whole story. And my biggest thing is, I need you to be honest with me. I cannot help you if you're not honest. You're in a safe space.
Yes.
I don't want you to be embarrassed by what happened. I don't want you to tell me something that's not true because you think you're going to get in trouble. I need to know everything in order to help you. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's
Yes.
already happened. So if there's a consequence coming, okay, but you got to at least be in a place where you can understand why. Once they explain it
Yeah.
to me, okay, then I say, okay, well, I've heard what you had to say. Let me talk to
Yeah.
the other people involved. This is what's coming because I'm not also trying to surprise anyone. Again, transparency.
Yeah.
You may have to go to the
Very
principal's
transparent.
office. You may end up getting suspended. There's going to be a parent call. And then I also make sure if I'm doing a parent call, Once I'm finished talking, I hand them the phone. I have nothing to hide. What I'm telling you is
Yeah.
exactly what your child told me. So once I finish talking, I give them a chance to speak as well. And they're listening to me while I'm talking. Stop me if I'm saying anything wrong, if I'm misspoken. That's how I build with them.
Yes.
So that way, if they have to come to me again, at least they know, hey, I know Mr. B is going to give me a fair chance. At least he's going to hear me out and
Yes.
hear my story. You know, and
Yes.
sometimes
Yes.
you find out, hey, you did do something wrong, but it was because of this thing from this person that nobody knew
Yeah.
about. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes with kids, it's not even all about, oh, I'm trying to not get in trouble, but I just want fairness. What's right is right,
Yeah.
what's fair is fair. If I'm going to get a consequence for doing something, I at least need somebody to know I acted out and it was wrong, but it was because of this thing before.
Yes. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Communication,
that's
transparency,
it.
all of the above.
Hmm.
Absolutely. I love it. Thank you guys for joining the live. Everybody who's got on so far. We're speaking with Mr. B, Mr. B's Corner. He is an education. He's an education. He's an educator. He specializes in behavioral therapy. Hey, Guanaco Bot, thank you so much for joining the live. I need to return your message. I need to get you on a live. La
Okay.
Dreamer, we need to get them on a live. We need to get him on a live. Make sure you follow La Dreamer. So thank you guys for all the gifts. Sabrina, thank you so much for all the conversation, all the comments. Thank you so much. Jay, I appreciate it. La Dreamer, thank you for being such a great moderator. So we're going to go into it, advice for, the educators and parents. From your opinion, giving advice to the teachers, old teachers,
Hmm.
new parents, old parents, whatever it is. What would you say to a new teacher or a burned out teacher watching this right now? Because I'm sure you've been there. You've been a new
Yeah,
teacher. You've
man,
been the burned out
I've
teacher,
been burnt
right?
out too. Yeah. Um, you know what? One of the biggest things, I didn't even do a video on it yet, and I haven't done a video in a while, but I want to do one soon. It sounds a lot really cliche, but it is very important. Self-care is very important. Like you literally cannot be there for anybody else until you take care of yourself. I mean, listen, when you
Yes.
ride on an airplane, I mean, you can't even put a mask on someone, an oxygen mask, until you put yours on first, or it's not going to work. You could pass out before you even get the mask on the person. You have to take care of yourself first. So I think the biggest thing, like for a new teacher or a burnt out teacher, is just recognizing, hey, I'm new into this, or hey, I'm burnt out and I can't take anymore. And when you can't, I would just hope that you have an administration at your school or that you feel comfortable where you can talk and sit down with them and let them know how you feel so they can either A, help you out, give you some backup or some strategies for yourself. But I also think it's important, for people to make sure when they go home, you have to detach from work sometimes. You can't always take
Yes.
all that work home. As a teacher, your work never ends. It doesn't matter what you do. You can stay up all night. You can do test and grade test all weekend. On Monday, there's a brand new set of work just sitting there ready for you with the same
Yeah.
kids coming with more problems. You're never going to finish it all. So at least take
Yeah.
some time out from yourself. Once you leave out that door and you're in your car, work is done. You're not
Yes.
grading, you're not doing anything. If it didn't get done
Nothing.
today, it'll get done tomorrow. And everybody's just gonna have to be okay with that at the end of the day
Yes.
because you're only one person.
Love
And
that.
I feel like
Yeah.
when people, start realizing that and taking more time out for themselves, I think that, it'll kind of level the playing field with the amount of demands being asked and what I am capable of doing as a person. So just taking time out for
Yes.
yourself, enjoying your weekend,
Yes.
enjoy your family.
Yes, absolutely. So that's his what he would say to a new teacher, burned out teacher. You
Hmm.
guys, self-care, take care of yourself, take care if you're an educator in the educational system, make sure you're taking care of yourself, self-care.
Definitely.
Thank you guys so much for joining the live. Everybody who's just jumped in. This is Mr. B, Mr. B's Corner. Make sure you go and follow him.
Love.
Tac Dad, thank you so much for all the gifts. Sabrina, I appreciate all the yes, long drives with music. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Long drives with music. Shut it
Hmm.
down, girl, and put
Hmm.
some music on.
Hmm.
Preferably Tejano. But I love it. Thank you so much. So, how can parents and educators work together to support the child instead of playing the blame game? We kind of touched base on
Hmm.
this earlier. So, let's circle back to that.
Set up a parent meeting, or even if you're a
Yeah.
parent, set up a meeting with your teacher. Go in person and talk to them. Text
Yeah.
messages and calls are fine. It's great. It's some type of communication. But there's nothing better than old school sitting in front of someone and listening to them and looking at their body language. You
Face
can
to
really
face.
tell,
Yes.
what's really going on. And also, it gives you a chance to see the classroom. It's good to see where your student sits, your child sits,
Yeah.
maybe that's the issue. Maybe they need to sit in a different place. Maybe your child has
Yeah.
come home and you see a name that, hey, my child has said, this person, this name has been causing them problems. Is there a possibility that maybe you can move them?
Yeah.
And something as simple as that can, get rid of all the problems you're having with that student. So that's one of the things
Yeah.
I would say to do. And another thing is for the teachers, a lot of times for the interventions we put in place, as such as, a behavior chart, or, we're
Yeah.
monitoring system to see, how many times the student is doing this, or a sticker chart, or we're praising them with the PBIS system where, the school has a school store. We're giving them dollars throughout the day that they can use on Friday.
Yeah.
Use those things because they're there for a reason. I know they don't always work. They don't always work for me. My job really is
Yeah.
trial and error. That's all I do every day. I try
Yeah.
things and they fail. And then I try it again and they fail. And I try it again and they fail. But one of those 1,000 times they work. And when they work, everybody's happy, so just utilize those things, pour into the child, if there's a system on your campus where, you're praising them with, for instance, like, let's say, koala bucks or something like that, because your school mascot
Yeah.
is koala,
Yeah.
use that system because it'll help in the end. It gives the kids, makes them feel important, you're
Yeah.
actually, saying, wow, they see me for the little bit of good I did. A child can be bad all
Yes.
day, and then you can say, sit down, and they actually go sit. Praise them. Just praise it, because once you
Yeah.
praise them once, it'll become a routine to them, and then they'll start doing it more. At first, it will just be for the stuff. I'm not going to lie. If you have
Yeah.
a treasure box or candy, they're only doing it for the candy. But we know with
Yeah.
routines, after a while, it becomes a part of your life. Just like you do your good mornings all the time. It becomes a
Yes.
part of your life. And now you can't even see yourself waking up in the morning without saying good morning and getting on TikTok. And now you're just
Yeah.
doing it for you.
Yes.
You're not even doing it for
Yeah.
the likes. It's the same thing with the
Yeah.
kids. So that's the
Yeah.
strategy I would give for the
Absolutely.
teachers. And for the parents, talk
Nice.
to the teachers.
Yes, yes. You guys, celebrate the small things. Once again, we're going
Mm-hmm.
back to that. Make deposits before you can
Mm-hmm.
make a withdrawal. So this is Mr. B, Mr. B's Corner. He's an educator. He's been an educator for many years, not only here in the US, but internationally. He has been giving us all kinds of gems, as far as how to, handle the kids in the classroom, what parents can do, because I'm not an educator. I don't have any more kids in the classroom, but I do have grandbabies, right? I do have grandbabies. My sisters still have kids that are in the classroom. My niece Sabrina and James Elliott, they still have kids in the classroom. So all this information is so helpful, Mr. B. Thank you so much. I knew this was going to be an amazing live. I already knew it.
I
I
appreciate
already
it.
knew.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So, so we're going to talk about the community and the purpose, because I know, we've talked about you being involved in the community and wanting to
Mhm.
be out in the forefront, right? I
Right,
love to
right.
be involved in the community.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's my jam. So why is community connection just as important as academic success?
Oh, good. That's a really good question as well. The academic success, and yeah, I want to take a second. I got to think about that in the community. It's a lot of
No,
things I
yeah,
could say,
absolutely,
but
absolutely. Oh,
I just
Jay,
feel like it
your
goes.
interview will be good.
I feel like it goes hand in hand, to be honest with you. I feel
Okay.
like a lot of times with academics, you can't really get what you're trying to get out of, anyone if you're not actually interested in what's important to them. So, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
right now, I teach at mostly Title I schools. So, the most of my population
Mm-hmm.
is African American and Hispanic population, Latino. And right now it's Hispanic Heritage Month. So we're doing a lot of things with that. Every class has picked a country and we've decorated every hall. You go down, there's something from South America, Argentina, or Chile or somewhere, and they're learning a lot
Yeah.
about the culture. And I think that that's really helping in the school because, students who are, from a Latino background, they feel like they've been seen. It's like, I'm here, I can see my country is being supported. And not only that, the kids are going around with passports and they're learning about each country as they go to each
Yeah.
hallway. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
it gives them a chance to talk about their culture. It gives them a chance to talk about things that are important to them, even traditions from their families. A lot of families are coming in, to also talk with the classrooms read a story or just give some history about their culture and their country. And I think that's really
Yeah.
important because that builds with the community. Now the community knows, wow, they're really invested in all of me. They're not just trying to
Yes.
push my kid to the next grade, but they actually care
Yeah.
about things that matter to me. So I think that's the reason why academics goes, hand in hand with community. And on top of that, schools are in that community. You got to think your school is in a
Yeah.
community. I know it's a business, but you're smack dab in the middle of a neighborhood. So the least you can do if
Yes.
you're in that neighborhood is support that neighborhood and learn the culture of that neighborhood. Because at the end of the day, that's
Yeah.
what surrounds the school. It's the heart of it.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So my sister Margarita, she just commented, parent involvement with the community, get the
Hmm.
kids involved. Absolutely,
Hmm.
100%.
Hmm.
Getting them involved with their school, getting them involved around whatever the school's got going on, volunteering. I
Oh
love
yeah.
doing that. Being involved in my community, whether it's
Hmm.
volunteering, even with my grandbaby, whatever I have going on, you want to go with me? And
Yeah.
we've done food drives, whatever the
Hmm.
school has going on, how can we
Hmm.
help, right? It's a little bit more difficult, work hours and things like that. But
Oh
yes,
yeah.
getting them involved.
Yeah.
La Dreamer says she was always involved. That's
Oh
great,
yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Even on the weekend, things that you don't even think about that's part of the community. Your kids ask, can you come to my soccer game? That's being
Mm-hmm.
involved. You'll be surprised once you get to the soccer game how many other kids that you know from the school that's there as well and their parents. And kids love that when you come to their games, whatever which sport they're playing, soccer,
Yeah.
baseball, football,
Baseball.
basketball. If you have a
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, just one, all you need to go to is one. And from that point on, now you have, a kid that's also your best friend. Wow, I can't believe it. Miss Amanda, she came to my soccer
Yeah.
game. I saw her. Did you see her? Did you see her? Like they'll love that. And they'll talk
Yeah.
about that for weeks and weeks. So,
Yeah, absolutely. They feel noticed, like you said. They
mhm.
feel, that I love it. I love it. Being involved in the community, getting involved, parents getting involved. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Mhm.
much for the whatever that was. Thank you, Margarita. I appreciate you. So any questions. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. We're going to get ready to close out this interview with some fun closer questions. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I wish my little music box thingy was working because it has like all kinds of buttons and I can do claps and I don't know what's wrong with it. I'll have to mess with it. Me and Jay were messing with it yesterday and it was fine. And I don't know, Jay, now it's not working today. So anyways, fun closure questions. Thank you guys so much for all. Make sure you're tapping. Make sure you're sharing. I know we're
Thank
getting
you. Thank
towards
you.
the end, but make sure you
Yeah.
go and follow Mr. B's Corner here on
Yes.
TikTok. He's going to be putting out some amazing content here soon. So you guys keep up and keep a lookout for that. Thank you, Tac Dad, so much for all the lightnings. I appreciate that for
Hmm.
all the gifts. You guys made this live very, very fun. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Okay. So if you could give a TED Talk tomorrow, what would the title be?
um. Oh goodness. Let me get past maybe the behavior stuff and just really something about myself, I think, or just like, that people can resonate with. I think it's,
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be, but I know the concept would be about really just living like freely and being yourself and like moving past the race
Yeah.
basically. I know I talk with you a lot about that at work, a lot about just
Yes.
always going to work and like things just feel like it's just the same all the time, just the monotony of things. But
Yeah.
there's so many other things that now that's available that you can do besides maybe going to work all the time, whether it's a side hustle or even like what you're doing right now with the TikTok lives, which is a
Yeah.
great creative idea way of doing things. But just getting into your niches and your things that your hobbies, and is learning how to monetize that and make money from things
Yeah.
that you just enjoy doing.
Yes, absolutely. You
Yes.
should, you should, I'm going to give you an option. You should name it the TED Talk it should be called deposit. You got to deposit to withdraw.
I like that. I'll use
That's
that
what
one.
the
That's
name of your
cool. Yeah,
TikTok
yeah,
should
yeah, yeah,
be.
yeah.
I mean, your
That's
TED Talk. So we
true,
have a
true.
question from Sabrina. What's the
Okay.
funniest grade that you've ever taught?
The funniest grade.
The
Um,
funnest grade you've
the
ever
funnest
taught.
grade, I think, to be honest with you, was probably third grade. And the reason why I
Okay.
say that, I know they say, now, not to be sarcastic with kids. You got to make sure you're really, making sure you're direct, and they, understand, what they need to do, and that you mean business. But I had fun with my third grade class, my first third grade class when I moved to Houston, Texas. They were fun, and we had that kind of relationship where I could be sarcastic with them. They could laugh, and they could make
Mm-hmm.
jokes with me back. It was always just in fun. It was nothing, that went, across the, something that was like bad. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you let them say that to you. But they like that, just in the middle of class, just being able to laugh,
Yeah.
or they say something
Yes.
funny, and I laugh. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. An adult, he's laughing at my joke. Yeah, it's funny. I can't help it. I can't help it. It was funny.
I
So,
know.
third grade, they're at that good place where they
Right.
understand some sarcasm, but you can have a little bit of fun and they actually understand it because they're getting more into themselves and they're getting more into their
Yeah.
personality. So it's just fun to see them watch and it turn into like little adults because that's what they're doing, just finding
Nice.
themselves. Yeah.
So Jay has a question.
Mhm.
What your fave grade to teach? So we I think you kind of touched base on that third grade.
Yeah.
Well, that was your funnest grade. But what
Yeah.
was your favorite? Third
Well, my
grade?
funnest grade is third grade, but to be honest with you,
Yeah.
um, now just by going to the classes and talking with them, I may not teach them, but I really, really like kindergarten. No,
Yeah.
I don't think that I would be good in front of them because I just know myself and I know when the cries and everything start, and I probably like to play all day more, more than likely because they're so little. But I do really like
Yeah.
working with them one on one. They're so appreciative. That's the thing as well. They're still in that phase where they're like, trying to be teacher pleasers. All the kindergartners
Yeah.
want their teacher to be happy with them. Like anything you say, yes sir, yes sir, yes
Yeah.
ma'am. They love that. So I just really like sometimes when I'm frustrated at work, I literally just go down to kindergarten hall, go into the room. Hey, Mr. B, look at my drawing. Look at this picture I drew. Look at this. Hey, look at my new shoes. You like
Aw.
that? And it just makes me happy. So it just gives me a break really from
Yeah.
my work and just they give me gratitude, to be honest with you. So I think that's the
Yes.
grade I really like the most because one thing kindergarten is going to do, they're going to make you feel good about yourself. They are.
Oh, yeah, I love that. That when I pick up my
Hmm.
grandbaby from daycare,
Hmm.
that none of the kids know. I mean, I pick them up almost every Friday so they can recognize me, and they're just so
Right.
excited to see me. I'm
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
oh, hi. It
Yeah.
makes you feel so good because they remember
Hmm.
you. They know you. Noah, Noah, your grandma's here.
Yeah.
Noah, they call
Yeah.
him, right? It's
Yeah.
just so, I get that. I love
They
it. I
make you feel
love it.
important.
Yeah, they do. I do feel important when I go into this
Yeah.
classroom. So let's see, another fun closure question. Thank you guys for joining the live. I appreciate that. Make sure you
Thank
go
you.
and
Thank
follow
you.
Mr. B on TikTok. And we have one. We're gonna have two more questions. You want to ask this question for me? Come here, sit
Oh,
down.
cool.
Okay, so we're gonna have this question right here. Can you read it to him?
What's one book, quote,
Quote.
quote or mantra that has stuck with you through your journey?
Hmm. Oh, very good. Um, Man, I can't even remember it right now, but I know it comes from Coach Carter. I know it's not a book, but it's a movie, and it's just about your inadequacies and talking about how you basically you're as powerful as you think you can be, and you're also as small as you think you are. It's all about your mind and how you believe in yourself. To be honest, it really is. It's the way you feel about yourself. It just comes out in the physical world. Like what you believe about yourself, you become that. So I just think one of my biggest things is just trying to make sure or working on me feeling good about who I am and saying quotes to myself to kind of, you know, make myself feel good about myself, I guess, so that I can actually live that out. I'll work on a quote. I don't know the actual quote.
Awesome, awesome. So again, thank you guys so much for joining the live. We kind of touched base on that they can follow you here on
Hmm.
TikTok, Mr. B's Corner. Oh wait, I got a question from Sabrina. Do you remember the name of a teacher you had that made the biggest impact in your life?
Yep, I sure do. Actually, it was my third grade teacher. His name was Mr. Humphreys. Yeah, I can't even believe I remember that.
Aw.
First, he was the first male teacher that I ever had. But the reason why I liked him so much is because I don't know how I could do this, but I could tell when he was going off script and just telling us things just because we needed to know it. So that was when I learned about allied and access powers, to be honest with you. Something that I don't even think was for our curriculum at the time, but he was teaching us to us like about the world and about Russia and about, all these different policies and things. I think that's probably the reason why I became a political science major. Just from that conversation of him just sitting down and just talking to us about the world. It couldn't have been on the lesson plan. He just went on and on and on. And I just still to this day remember just sitting in my seat, just being wowed about like, oh my gosh, it's like so many countries out here. And, all these different wars that happen and all this history. Like, this is
Yep.
interesting. I love this stuff. And then, I was a political science major in college. So, Mr. Humphreys is definitely, a teacher that I will always remember.
Yes,
Hmm.
awesome, awesome. So right here, Aiden, do you want to read this last sentence? And then we're going to get ready to close out the live, okay? And you got to
Okay.
speak up so he can hear you.
Where can people where can people follow you, connect, and learn more from Mr. Beast Corner?
Yes. Okay. That's what I was trying to get all of my handles. And I'm sorry because I told you this keyboard is here and it's kind of like blocking me from writing anything. But of
Okay,
course, Mr.
that's
Beast
all good.
Corner, and I know that Amanda, you put it in there. My Instagram, I put it there earlier, but it's all lowercase, the real Mr. B underscore
Hmm.
S corner. So it's like the real Mr. Beast Corner and just the underscore between the B and the S. So that's my
And that's
Instagram,
Instagram.
and I also have a YouTube, and because they're
Oh
all
yeah,
just
YouTube. We got to
slightly,
make sure.
yeah, they're just a little slightly different. But my YouTube is at Real Mr. B's Corner.
At Real Mr. B's Corner.
Yep,
Great,
and that's
great,
my
great. So
YouTube.
you guys,
Hmm.
that's his YouTube. So, and I'll post something after this, and I'll make sure to put all his tags in there. And
Okay.
then I'll be, he'll hopefully you can do a post on your end, and that
Oh
way
yeah,
they can
I
go,
definitely will.
on your profile, and that way they can make sure they go and follow all your platforms. Um, we had an amazing crowd
Oh yeah.
in our TikTok live, Mr. B. I appreciate it. I
Thank
already
y'all.
knew it was
Thank
going to
y'all.
be amazing, amazing live. I appreciate you, our conversations that we've had. You've inspired me to keep going, to keep pushing,
Thank you. Thank you.
just our conversations, that we had. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that we can continue maybe doing these lives, right?
Oh
Every
yeah.
few months, right?
Oh
Get you
yeah.
back on, right?
Yeah.
And
Anytime.
discuss,
I'm ready.
new topics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm
you
ready
guys make
anytime.
sure you go and yes, yes, go and make sure you follow Mr. B's Corner. I appreciate Tac Dad. Make sure you got to follow him. He's the one. That's my nephew. He's the one in
Hmm.
North Carolina.
I will. I will make sure.
Um, yeah, he has some great stuff on his showcase too. He does a lot of tactical gear, Tac Dad. So he does a lot of tactical gear. And
Oh,
make
that's
sure the
cool.
Dreamer you go and follow. Yeah, make sure you go and follow the Dreamer. And then but thank you, everybody who joined this live. Mr. B is going to post something on his platform so that you can go and follow him on Instagram and subscribe to his YouTube
Oh yeah.
channel.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Stay tuned because into the next year, we're going to definitely have him back on, have more discussions, get him in here with some great information. Sabrina, thank you so much. Jay, Patty, Joanne, all the people who got on the live. We really appreciate that. So you guys need to stay tuned to this Thursday, October 9th. We're going to have Shahid, right? Jay Perez and Shahid with Start Trouble Entertainment. It's going to be a great live, Mr. B. They're in the music industry. We got to promote. He does promotions. He also makes music.
Okay.
Jay Perez. Make sure you go and follow him
Can
as
you say the
well.
date one more
Yes, that's
time?
you. I'm talking about you.
When is it?
J. It's on TikTok. It's JP.
Okay. And what day is it again?
Thursday, October 9th.
Okay. Cool. I'll be there for
Yeah,
that. Okay.
Thursday,
8 o'clock.
October 9th, 8 p.m.
Okay. Cool. I'm
8
there.
p.m.
I'm definitely there.
Yes, absolutely. So again, we appreciate you guys. You have any questions after this live, feel free to message him. Reach out. He's going to be putting some content out here
Oh
hopefully
yeah.
soon, but
Oh
he's
yeah.
also going to post something that way you guys can go and follow all his other platforms. Margarita, thank you so much for the roses. Y'all, this was my boy. This was a great interview, Mr. V. I
I
appreciate
appreciate
it.
it.
Make sure you go and follow. I appreciate everybody who jumped on, all the gifts. I love coming on here and being able to interview great people like you, and I appreciate it. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
And Amanda, you will
All
go down
right,
in
we'll talk to you
history.
soon.
You're the first TikTok live I've ever done. So you will go down in
Really?
history for that. Yes. You are the very first TikTok live I've ever done. So I will never forget this day. So thank you.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This is a day, I'm telling you, this is start of new things,
Oh yeah.
new beginnings, different things, right? So I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Everybody, you have a great night, and we'll see you on Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Shark Trouble Entertainment, Jay Perez and Shahid Ali. You do not want to miss it. Hope to see you then. Bye,
Bye.
guys.